Picture this. You're standing in a field about 10,000 years ago. You've got 3 goats. Your neighbor has a pile of wheat. You're hungry for bread, he's hungry for milk. Simple, right? Except it's not simple at all. What if he doesn't want goats today? What if your goats are worth more than his wheat, but you can't exactly chop a goat into smaller pieces? This one tiny, annoying problem is the reason money exists. Everything that came after, coins, paper bills, credit cards, the app on your phone right now, all of it grew out of people trying to solve that one frustrating moment in a field. So let's actually walk through it, the entire history of money, from goats to Bitcoin, in the next few minutes. The barter problem. For most of human history, we didn't have money. We had barter, direct trading of stuff for other stuff. And for small, simple communities, that worked okay. But the second a society got a little bigger, a little more complex, barter started falling apart. Economists actually have a name for the core issue: the double coincidence of wants. Basically, for a trade to happen, both people have to want exactly what the other person has at exactly the same time. That's a lot of conditions to line up. The shoemaker needs bread today, but the baker doesn't need shoes, he needs his roof fixed. Now you need a middleman, then another middleman just to get a loaf of bread. This is the actual reason humans invented money, not because someone in a palace decided it would be neat. It was a practical fix to a logistics problem.
The first solution wasn't coins. It was using things everyone already valued as a kind of universal trading chip. Different cultures landed on different objects: cattle in parts of Africa, cacao beans in Mesoamerica, salt in parts of Europe and Africa. And yes, this is where the word salary actually comes from, because Roman soldiers were sometimes paid partly in salt. Gold and silver don't rust, they don't rot, they don't get eaten by bugs. You can melt them down and reshape them without losing any value, unlike, say, a cow, which you obviously can't divide into tradable chunks without killing it. They're also rare enough that you can't just go dig up unlimited amounts in your backyard, which keeps them valuable. Basically, ancient humans accidentally discovered the perfect physical properties for currency just by trial and error, centuries before anyone understood atomic structure.
Around 600 BC, in the Kingdom of Lydia, which is in modern-day Turkey, something changed everything. People started stamping standardized symbols onto chunks of metal. This was huge because before this, every transaction required you to weigh and verify the purity of whatever metal you were being handed. Imagine doing that every single time you bought bread. A stamped coin solved that instantly. It was a guarantee, backed by a king or a government that said, "This exact piece of metal is worth this exact amount. Trust us." That single idea, a trusted third party guaranteeing value, is honestly the foundation of basically every monetary system that came after, including the one in your wallet right now. Coins spread fast after that. The Persians, the Greeks, the Romans all developed their own versions. And once an empire had a reliable currency, it could do something pretty wild: pay huge standing armies, tax citizens efficiently, and trade across enormous distances. Some historians genuinely argue that coinage was just as important to building empires as actual military force was.
Coins are great, but they're heavy. If you're a merchant trying to move large amounts of wealth across long trade routes, lugging around sacks of metal coins is dangerous and exhausting. China solved this first. During the Tang and Song dynasties around the 7th to 11th century, Chinese merchants started using paper certificates as a kind of IOU, representing a deposit of coins held somewhere safe. Eventually, the government got involved and started issuing official paper currency. Here's the interesting part, though. Paper money only works if everyone collectively agrees to believe in it. A coin has actual metal value built in. A piece of paper has basically none. So paper currency was really the first time in history that money became almost entirely a trust exercise, a shared agreement,
rather than something with built-in physical worth. And historically, whenever that trust broke down, when a government printed way too much paper money, it triggered some of the worst inflation crises in recorded history. Song Dynasty China actually experienced this. So did Weimar Germany centuries later, where by 1923, prices were doubling roughly every 2 days. Once computers entered banking, money started becoming less and less physical. Credit cards in the mid-20th century, electronic bank transfers. By the time you reach the 2000s, the vast majority of money in the world wasn't paper or coins at all. It existed purely as numbers in a database. Then, in 2009, something genuinely new showed up. Bitcoin. Created by a still anonymous person or group using the name Satoshi Nakamoto,